begin. So, who are you guys?
Hi, we're Birdeatsbaby.
We're Birdeatsbaby. Ah,
No,
these are plugs.
And who are you all and what do you do?
I'm Gary. I'm the guy who carries the weight of the band.
He's the guitarist in the fleet. And I'm the lead singer and I play keys and sometimes a bit of accordion when I'm feeling fruity.
I'm the drummer. I like to hit stuff.
Back, drum and backing vocalist.
Yeah. And a mellotron thing, what is it called?
Oh, we're musicians.
Peeps, how many instruments do you play? Reel them off.
To what level? I would say one, violin, harp, cello, bass, guitar, keys,
You play
hurdy-gurdy, soon.
Singing as well.
Yeah.
What's that?
Singing.
Oh yeah, I sing as well. And most importantly, I stand there and look cool.
Oh yeah, that is very, very important. She's definitely got that bit covered.
Okay, tell us about the world conspires.
Well, it's conspiring right now, isn't it? We were supposed to be on tour and now we're on Zoom. So yeah. World conspires.
How many apocalypses have affected the album so far?
Many. We are the four horsemen of the apocalypse. Everywhere we go to just turns to dust. So we thought we'd write an album about it. And pugs.
Yeah, they're also about pugs.
Yeah.
They're the plagues that the apocalypse brings on.
George is the lucky fifth horseman.
I thought he was the weight of the band
He's
that was
the
being
horse.
carried.
The plague of cuteness.
George is the locust.
I get it. The World Conspires is a big album about everything being up against you, so you are having to sort of push through, and that's what the album felt like to make. So it was a really tough album to write. We got there in the end, and now we just can't wait to tour it when we're finally allowed again.
We have had to cancel tours because of earthquakes. We've had to
Tornadoes.
nearly cancel gigs because of riots.
No, we did. Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, we're standing outside the venue watching the police going up now.
Yeah, riots, earthquakes, tornadoes, floods.
Earthquakes.
There was no
Floods.
storms cancelled. Our tour manager was from Florida, and most of the gigs were in Florida. The high-paying ones, and they all got cancelled.
And then a broken van. That's definitely been a plague on the band like many years. I'm definitely counting that as the worst plague of them all. That fucking van.
What was that venue we played in Florida? The one that the Sun Jug.
The brass jug.
The brass jug, yeah. Yeah, it was where Floridian death metal started anyway, so that was a good venue to play it. But it was like the only venue in Florida we did play. In Tampa, yeah.
Was that the one with the band with their own podiums?
Yes.
Yes, that was that one. Yeah.
Yes, that was amazing. And Copper Bones as well. Do you remember they got on the car and were like driving away and he was surfing on top
They
of
were
the car?
amazing.
Yeah.
That was the best thing I've ever seen.
So funny.
Yeah, no, I bet you they played the first gig there, so it was kind of cool to be there. But yeah, all the rest of the gigs got fucked over because of the
disaster.
Because of the world conspired.
And now the coronavirus.
That's more world conspiring.
Yeah.
Alright, so talk about the lyrics of the world conspires then. Some of the meanings behind the songs.
So like there's a variety of subject matter within the lyrics. So
I was wiser, she was weaker.
Yes.
It just got rapey. She was wiser, I was weaker. And then, oh, ho, ho, which is clearly the best lyric in the whole song. A lot about death, suicide, the world ending, revenge, hatred, lust.
It's a whole panel, really. There's a bit of everything.
Yeah.
What's the cheeriest part of the album for you?
there's a song in C major.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of cheery.
That's the happy.
Actually, it's kind of cheery. It's the only upbeat one. It's
Yeah.
in C major. Yeah, it's called Whisper. And that one's got the cuntiest ending of all time. We've never played it live yet because we need to learn it. But yeah, it's got a kind of very stop-starty kind of ending. But yeah, the lyrics are about running away from something, but you're just running into something worse. So it's a really happy song in C major.
That's in C major. It's happy.
It sounds happy, and that's what counts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, onto the cover. So artwork always features very strongly for you, I think, more than other bands. So tell us about the artwork for this particular album.
The artwork is a concept to match the theme of the album. It's about the final moments of two lovers together before their world is destroyed, and they're just like you Gary and George. Final moments. But yeah, it's basically kind of trying to, I don't know, sum up a moment that's insane and ridiculous, and I don't know, kind of summing up disaster, but also hope at the same time. I just sort of got the image, and then we worked with a really cool artist, Fausto, what was it, Jack Flamel. Giuresco, thank you. Yeah, he's calling himself Fausto Giuresco now. And yeah, he's done most of our artwork for the last 3 records, and Hannah's as well for Waiting to Burn. He's just got amazing style. It's just really, really cool. It's kind of
very, very talented artist.
Yeah, it's like almost like graphic art, like comic book almost sort of stuff.
Yeah,
his images are really strong, and he's really, really cool. So yeah, it just made sense to work with him. And when we were thinking about The World Conspires, I thought, yeah, the artwork has to match the kind of intensity of the record. It's worth looking at the back cover as well, because he actually did paint the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse, and it's almost more amazing than the front cover. It's so fucking cool, the detail. So yeah, he's amazing. Everyone should work with him.
So do you think it's important to have a label deal these days?
Well, we've done all right without one, I think.
Yeah. Well, it depends what the label could provide.
Nothing.
That's what kind of exposure you want too.
What's that?
Depends what exposure and what style of music you're doing too.
Yeah, completely. Well, there's a few variants on why you might benefit from the label, but the music industry has changed to the extent where you don't really need them.
Yeah. But if you're doing like general pop music, you may as well, because it's not going to go far without one.
Yes.
I think it depends how self-sufficient you are as well, you know.
I
think it's very like in with a niche, you know, like it's very specific to some genre that doesn't necessarily do better with a deal. I don't think you need one. The fuck is going on? I overheard it.
I mean, that sounded like a drum falling down the stairs.
That was outside in my garden.
You want to check?
Check it out with...
Guys, what the fuck is going on?
You all fought it.
to the left.
Down a bit.
Anna, down a bit.
Down a bit, Anna.
Are you making fun of me?
It's more somebody like grabbing it at some sketchy horror film type shit.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Yeah, you'll see it in the corner of the screen. It's like
there'll be like a face at the window, like.
You see Anna, getting dragged out.
I haven't seen anything.
What you're doing? Sharpen your drumsticks.
I think that you need to be able to do the groundwork yourself and know what's in your best interest, and like get to a point where you're actually like, you need to know what you're getting into with a label deal, and you need to I think you need to have something that a label can then develop on, you know, because you've got something that you've developed to a point that you can offer them something in return. You know, with the music industry, the way it is these days, there's a lot less budget in labels for artist development. Basically, we're left to do that job by ourselves before we get to the record label, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's definitely more like an equal partnership thing now, rather than like, you know, you're like, I just do the music. You've got like, you know, you've got to come to the table with something.
So basically, I think if you want to develop your own baby and you want creative freedom, then you need to kind of do the groundwork before anyone else comes and gets involved. And actually, I think that Birdeatsbaby is a good example of that. It's a band that's been built from the roots up, and slowly the team's expanded. And not only that, it's a team of people who like really care about the band. And I think that if you try and do things from a more corporate point of view, you're not really going to get that. You are going to be a commodity.
Yeah, for me, it's more like I've heard of so many like major label deal that have hurt so badly so many bands. You only hear the ones that work, you know, like you see online. Oh yeah, they're signed, and so therefore it works. But you only see the successful stories. You don't see the ones that just like fuck the whole band or artist over, either money wise or artistically. You know, so I think you just have to be careful. You have to know what you're getting into. If you're getting into a major deal, I'm only talking major deal here because this is my experience. You know, having friends who are you know, signed with like Spinal Farm and you know, Universal and all that, and they came out of that with thousands and thousands of debt instead of anything else. You know, so you just have to expect that as well. It's not just, oh, we got signed, it's gonna happen. It's like, no, it may actually be the other way around. So let's just not go there blinded. Like,
so what we're saying is that no, we don't like labels.
Yeah.
I like the way the industry is going though, for like artists like us who have worked really hard and built up our own stuff. Like, we're in charge of pretty much all of our rights now, and we might work with companies, but we probably wouldn't like sign everything over to a label, just only have deals that are like, you know, completely non-exclusive, and you just could retain all of your rights and retain everything. I think that's like really good, because there's like loads of people now or whatever who are just doing stuff through, you know, through their own crowdfunding, like Patreon, and just letting their fans support them and their fans be their label, which I think is really like the way forward, definitely.
yeah.
And also, you probably earn more than you would if you were assigned to a label.
Yeah, like the label would have to be so like focused on the band and so like into it and 100% like saw the vision for it to be anything on the table. Otherwise, it's just no point, because they're never going to have your interest at heart. They're just going to see how much money they can make.
Corona has kind of killed any major tour plans this year. God knows, maybe even into next year. So what are the general tour plans as soon as you can hit the road again?
Europe, America.
Yeah, just like
The world.
Well,
The world,
get back in touch with the contacts that we had to. Well, the gigs that we had to cancel before, the people are there.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully our contacts are out of prison by then, so it's perfect timing for us, really.
Yeah. That would be great, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll be going back to America as soon as possible.
What would you have been doing this year? You know, as in countries, cities, where would you have been if you could this year?
Well, cities. Well, normally we would be in Germany, we would be in Belgium, I think. We would be in Holland.
Mm-hmm.
And then if we travel to the States, where's our tour managers based in Georgia at the moment.
Yeah, the East Coast, East Coast and some of the middle states. And then maybe we would have just popped across the border to Mexico on the way back, hopefully. But that'll be next time.
No, that's completely. That's not just popping across the border. No, that's like traveling a vast.
That'll be fine. You just see the wall and just go, wall. It's fine.
Yeah, there's a big distance between that.
That'll be all right. I know some people will just go, whoop, be fine.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, be fine.
Right.
Well, we'll be back. We'll be back soon.
Have you got a bit of coronas?
Yeah.
Corona.
And also the official Cockney rhyming slang for the virus is Miley Cyrus.
Brilliant.
Yeah. It's official. So yeah, guys.
Oh, what do you think the sign language is? 2 meters. 2 meters.
It's probably. And then you just run away.
Well, all right, next question. Tell us about some of your like most epic, most memorable, most amazing moments of live performance.
Every fucking show, man. Yeah, just kidding. Like 1 in 50.
Leicester was the bollocks.
Oh yeah.
I missed that. I'm so happy.
Oh.
Yeah.
You missed out, Anna.
Yeah, it was amazing. I think the best thing about the night were the chips I got afterwards. Right?
And even then, she got shits.
Yeah, there was shit chips, man. Terrible.
Yeah, and that was probably one of the worst gigs we've ever played.
Feedback all the way through and every single moment of the entire gig.
But on the flip side, like they're not like the really great gigs are few and far between, and when they do happen, they just sort of mask a
We
load
played a
of
few really good steampunk shows last year.
Yeah,
We kind of got in on this like festival circuit for steampunk gigs, and they were really amazing. Like really nice crowds, big crowds, green rooms, which I really, really appreciate. Like that's all I need for a good gig, is not to have to talk to anyone before or after the show.
Yeah. Yeah, they were awesome.
Little face.
They're really good. We should try and get back in next year with them. I mean, we were booked for a couple this year as well, so I'm sure like we're in there now with the steampunks. You know, I mean, we don't wear the cogs and stuff, but we're definitely in there. So,
got for yourself.
Well, Gary does.
Gary wears a bit of brown, don't you? Sometimes.
Boston brown, yeah.
A bit of brown.
Yeah.
What?
Brun.
Bit of brown. Partial to the brown.
I think the show we played at Super Molly was pretty fucking epic. But I'm trying to think of one with Anna that was really, really epic.
My favorite was the Halloween show.
That was cool.
Yeah, that was a good night.
Yeah.
That was a good one. Yeah, that was
Sounds
really
fun.
cool. I mean, both our amps broke like before the show, which was always great. But when it came back around and everything got sorted, that was a fucking absolutely brilliant show in Halle, Germany. And the roll-in sessions were stressful, but it was really fun as well.
was
That
cool.
was Anna's first show, and it was cool to be there. So that was good.
We've yet to play like a bigger size show with Anna yet, because like the tour might be going to Germany this year. Because that what?
Yeah.
Yeah, because because the shows got cancelled. That should have been the bigger one. That should have been what we're looking forward to. That's what we're building towards. And getting out of playing like the smaller German venues, because now we've built up a fan base in Germany. We could start playing bigger venues, but yeah, they were all conspired.
Yeah, fucking wild. I fell off the stage twice in Brighton.
I dropped my bow behind a table recently.
Yeah.
And then spent half a song scrabbling to get it. And then it was kind of, the moment had passed when I was supposed to play my solo. So we just ended the song.
She says we just ended the song. She just turned around to me and went, nah, it's not going to happen. And I was like,
Yeah, it's not happening, I think was the words.
yeah, it's not happening. It's really, so it's like, resolve the chord now.
Yeah.
It's always that pesky bow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nearly got our eye out in Baltimore. That was a pretty epic show, right?
Yeah.
That was my fail gig. That was yeah.
A good final moment.
That was amazing. Hannah was like zigzagging across the stage, like, ooh, and then she was like, ooh, the other way, and you just be like dodging the bow. It was so funny. That was good times. And yeah, I fell off the stage.
I just don't feel so. Here you go.
Alright, talk about some what recent heavy music albums have impressed you and why.
For me, it's the Sleep Token one. The Sleep Token debut album.
What?
Oh yeah, I know the one you're
Oh,
talking
who's
about.
that?
Sleep Token.
Oh,
We listened to some of it in the band. It's really good.
Yeah.
It's just
Ground-
insane because it's just such a weird mix
You probably
of influences. Like you don't know if it's metal, prog, fusion, pop. You just don't quite know what this is, and this is what I love. Like when I don't know what I'm listening to.
The last time I truly loved was Rivers of Nile. That album's fucking tremendous. I wouldn't say there's that many that's come out recently. Like, I don't know, the Ancients, every time they bring out music's decent. Ouroboros.
Ouroboros. I just listen to the same old shit.
That means you're old.
I am old, yeah.
That's a sign of being old and not opening your mind. I think you need to take more drugs.
Yeah, okay. I could do another year of that, I guess.
I don't know.
Why not?
You've been listening to a lot of Baroness, right? Are they quite...
Yeah. I mean, the stuff I'm listening to is not old. It's just like not massively current, and I can't think of anything.
That's it. I can't think of any actually current bands.
Yeah, I
Just all listen to Faceless, Beyond Creation.
Yeah. I have discovered some weird stuff recently, which has been pretty cool.
I'm still partial to Opeth. I'm just waiting on them to like doing this death metal album.
And Gajira obviously is just like winner. And Baroness, Tool's new album was alright. Thrice, they're decent. Orpamente, Russian Circles, Ithaca, there's a new band, there you go. Definitely.
Yeah.
I'm still down with the kids. Right, Henry?
Jesus
Oh.
Christ.
Like, I like Ithaca too.
The new album, Hex, talk about that, influences, what your plans are, how it's shaping up.
Influences Gajira, Lamb of God, Tool. That's it.
Pine tree.
Yes, Porcupine Tree. It's going to just be really evil sounding.
Bit of Toto in
Don't
there.
be tribal, lots of polyrhythms, lots of songs that are really long. We're just going to have a wank off, basically.
Because why not?
Yeah, because we can. It's going to have 9 tracks, and they're going to be quite long, and it's going to connect together. I don't know. Can't really say much more than that, apart from the fact it's going to sound really unsettling and strange.
Well, those are the heavier, more metal influences. You really went to town with the classical influences on Conspires. So what will be the classical influences for the next album?
I'll probably leave that to Pete.
There's a certain lady,
There's a certain lady
in the corner there we need to ask.
who brings the symphony
She-
to Birdie.
She does the classicals.
Yeah, classicals.
I've been listening to a lot of Prokofiev recently. That's like, I think, like, that's got a suitably witchy sound with the kind of like modes and scales and stuff. So I think that will definitely be brought to the table, and we'll see about other stuff.
That sounds amazing.
We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah. And Babe there, what are you going to do on the drums?
Apart from Be a Babe.
Apart from, Toto cover.
Well, I'll be doing a little bit of rhythmical geekiness.
Did you say metric modulation?
No, yeah. What is it?
You have to explain what is metric modulation and to us people who don't play drums.
Metric modulation is a fancy word for rhythmical illusions. So that means that when you take groupments of notes that are odds, you create polyrhythm. And if you make your polyrhythm your new beat, that's how you create a metric modulation. That's only of the few words. So basically you play with polyrhythms and groupments of notes. If you put a groupment of 3/16 notes, that's going to sound weird, and that's what we like. But that it doesn't necessarily sound like it is hard to play. This is what I like with a lot about Porcupine Tree, for example. Gavin Harrison is brilliant for that. Plays really like weird rhythm with polyrhythm and illusions and stuff, but it doesn't necessarily sound pretentious or hard. It's just it's done with taste.
So that's what's happening on the next album.
Gary, what about what kind of stuff are you going to do with the guitars this time around?
Heavy fucking metal!